Scarlett O'Hara is not like the other girls in Clayton County, Georgia. While they pretend to be modest and fluttery, Scarlett is strategic, proud, and stubborn as a mule in lace. She's 16, beautiful, sharp as a knife, and obsessed with Ashley Wilkes, who, to her utter disbelief, is about to marry someone else. Someone calm, someone nice, someone named Melanie. Scarlett decides she will not have it. Not today, not ever. At the 12 Oaks barbecue, where every fine Southern family is gathered to eat, flirt, and fan themselves politely in the Georgia heat, Scarlett makes her move. She corners Ashley and confesses her feelings. Ashley, blonde, quiet, and emotionally soggy, tells her he's fond of her, sure, but he's going to marry Melanie because she's gentle, and he can't deal with Scarlett's fire. Scarlett loses it, throws a porcelain vase, and is promptly overheard by a strange, amused man lounging in the library, Rhett Butler. Rhett is a scandal all by himself. He's from Charleston, he's rich, and he doesn't care what society thinks. He also finds Scarlett's tantrum fascinating. She finds him insulting. And that's the start of something complicated. Then in a flash, history shifts. War breaks out. The Civil War, Georgia is thrown into chaos, and all the gallantry and parties turn into fire, blood and boots stomping across the South. Scarlett, in a fit of rash defiance, marries Charles Hamilton, Melanie's brother, just to get back at Ashley. Then 2 weeks later, Charles dies of measles in a training camp, leaving Scarlett a teenage widow in black lace. Not quite what she envisioned. She's sent to Atlanta to live with Melanie and Aunt Pittypat. There, she's forced to mourn quietly and act like a proper widow. But mourning bores Scarlett to death. She wants dances, life, love, and some revenge while she's at it. Instead, she has sewing circles and wounded soldiers, and a Rhett Butler, who keeps reappearing like a well-dressed bad penny, smirks at her every step. Scarlett doesn't like Rhett, except she kind of does. He's the only person who sees through her. He knows she doesn't love Charles. He knows she still wants Ashley, and he teases her for it constantly. But he also brings her gifts, makes her laugh, and most annoyingly understands her. It's unnerving. As the war deepens, Atlanta becomes a war zone. Melanie gets pregnant, Ashley is off at war, Scarlett is trapped between duty and her ever-boiling emotions. When Atlanta begins to burn, literally, Scarlett must haul Melanie in labor out of the city in a broken-down wagon, through fire and smoke, while Union troops descend like a tidal wave. She gets them back to Tara, her family's plantation, only to find it gutted by war. Her mother is dead. Her father is broken. The fields are bare. The house is barely standing. The only thing left is survival. Scarlett makes a choice. No more crying, no more nonsense. She pulls herself together and delivers one of the most iconic internal monologues in fiction. As God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again. And with that, Scarlett O'Hara is no longer a flirt in a white dress. She becomes a steel spine wrapped in tattered velvet. Scarlett rolls up her sleeves, literally. She's now the head of a ruined household, surrounded by starving family members, Confederate wreckage, and a lot of nothing. The war may still be raging, but at Tara, it's already over. And Scarlett, she's done playing the Southern Belle. She rips her hands open in the fields, fights off looters, kills a man with a pistol to protect what's left of her home, and learns how to lie through her teeth to survive. She even bullies her sisters into working scandalous, while Melanie, Angel of Georgia, tries to help, but is still recovering from childbirth. Scarlett pretends to care. She doesn't. All she can think about is food, money, and how she'll get both without losing what's left of her mind. Then the war ends, the Confederacy collapses. Freedom comes for the enslaved, and with it, an entire world flips upside down. Scarlett doesn't care about the politics. She cares that Tara is being taxed into oblivion. And when the tax collector comes knocking, she doesn't blink. She marches into town in a dress made from green velvet curtains and sets her sights on a solution. Enter Rhett Butler again. Rhett is in jail, rumored to have hoarded Confederate gold. Scarlett goes to him for money. He laughs at her, but is fascinated again by her ruthlessness. She doesn't get the cash, but she makes an impression. So she pivots. She marries Frank Kennedy, her sister's fiance, who owns a store and might save Tara. Yes, it's horrible. No, she doesn't care. She needs money. She needs land. She needs control. She lies, manipulates, and becomes a cold-blooded businesswoman. And she's good at it. She builds a lumber business. She hires convicts to work it, cheap and brutal. People whisper she doesn't care. Scarlett is making money and clawing her way back to security. Melanie continues to be her moral compass, and Scarlett continues to pretend she has one. Meanwhile, Ashley returns from the war just as emotionally soggy as before. Scarlett is still in love with him, or at least with what he represents: the past, the safety, the unreachable dream. Ashley is married to Melanie and has no backbone, but that doesn't stop Scarlett from nursing the fantasy. Then a tragedy. Frank Kennedy dies in a vigilante raid, and Rhett Butler sweeps in, proposes, and this time, Scarlett says yes. Not for love, for convenience, for power, for comfort, and because Rhett is the only one who actually matches her. Their marriage is fire and ice. Scarlett marries Rhett and enters high society with a bang. She's rich now, rich enough to make every old Southern family uncomfortable. Scarlett builds a mansion in Atlanta, wears scandalous clothes, throws lavish parties, and keeps talking about money like it's a weapon. Rhett is both amused and disgusted. He's not in love with Scarlett, not openly, but he is. He just won't say it, and she won't either. Their entire marriage is a battle of who can act like they care less. But when their daughter is born, something shifts. Bonnie Blue, Butler, that baby changes everything. Rhett is besotted. He finally softens. Scarlett, however, still dreams of Ashley. She loves Bonnie, yes, but the emotional core of her heart is locked in a war between fantasy and fear. Rhett wants her love. She can't give it. She wants Ashley. He can't give her anything real. And Melanie remains loyal, kind, and somehow still blind to the fact that Scarlett wants her husband. Scarlett keeps trying to get closer to Ashley, and the more she fails, the more miserable she becomes. Rhett sees it. It eats him alive. They fight. Oh, do they fight? Verbally, emotionally. Rhett drinks. Scarlett punishes. The passion between them is volcanic, but neither one is willing to admit how deeply they've cracked. Meanwhile, Atlanta society starts to turn on Scarlett again. She's too bold, too ruthless, too unlikable. But Melanie defends her over and over again, not realizing that Scarlett is still emotionally attached to Ashley. And Scarlett, for all her selfishness, starts to genuinely love Melanie. Not that she ever says it. But then tragedy strikes again. Bonnie dies in a freak accident. She falls from her pony trying to jump like her father taught her. Rhett breaks utterly. He locks himself in a room with Bonnie's body and won't let anyone in. Not Scarlett, not Melanie, no one. The tough, smug, unflappable Rhett Butler is destroyed. Scarlett realizes, too late, how much she depended on him, how much she might have loved him, but he's unreachable now. More loss follows. Melanie, sweet, steady Melanie, falls ill and dies. On her deathbed, she begs Scarlett to take care of Ashley and to be kind. In that moment, something in Scarlett finally breaks clean. She realizes Ashley was never hers. He was a dream, and Rhett is the one she truly loves. She races home to tell him. She's ready. She's open. She wants to fight for him now, but he's already leaving. He's done. Scarlett begs him to stay. She pleads. She confesses. She finally does everything he's wanted her to do for years. And Rhett, he delivers the most famous line in the novel. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. And walks away. Scarlett collapses, but only for a minute because Scarlett O'Hara doesn't stay down for long. She tells herself she'll figure it out tomorrow. There's always tomorrow, and that's where it ends. With loss, with growth, with one woman standing alone in a ruined world she refused to surrender to.